All right, good morning, proles. It's time for church, and you know what that means. It's the collection plates coming around, and you better donate, or else God's going to be very angry that Millennial Steam doesn't have stuff. Oh God, let me go empty out this Snapple. Let's start out with it because it tastes like pure rear end. I was thinking when I bought this, other than nostalgia. So I remember that they used to taste good. Just like everything else in life, I remember that it used to taste good. It doesn't taste good anymore. That's for sure. Nothing tastes good anymore. Everything tastes like tushy. And not the good kind of tushy. And the kind of tushy that melts in your mouth, not in your hands, right? Oh, God, that was a terrible line. Thank God there's no one here to hear that. On the average Sunday, I'd be at the other prole church, the gym. But for some reason, I woke up at 1 o'clock in the morning and I decided to pop a couple tops, and uh, I didn't get like I didn't get visibly intoxicated. I just wasn't. I don't know. Sometimes I wonder what triggers me to wake up in the middle of the night and go out and have a smoke or start drinking again. Like, I just don't understand. Like, the depression gets to me, the isolation gets to me, the sadness gets to me, the anxiety gets to me, everything gets to me, and I'm sitting on my bed with a can of Prol beer, and I'm looking at the clock, and it's 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning, and I just kind of don't know what's happening. I just know that something's happening. I don't like what's happening, but it's happening. And suddenly you just kind of tell yourself, well, this is going to happen. Just don't drink too much. And after two, I look at the clock again and it's a little past 2:30 in the morning. And I tell myself, you know what, that's enough. I'm gonna lay down. But I can't sleep. So I just lay there, and every once in a while I'll fall asleep, but I can't breathe if I'm sleeping on my back. So I start hearing these ungodly noises of me struggling to breathe. And then I have to turn on my side. And I don't like sleeping on my side, but I have to. And therefore, I lay there and I look at the clock. Every time I open my eyes, another 45 minutes has passed. And I open my eyes again. It's 4 o'clock. I open my eyes again. It's 4:45. I open my eyes again, and it's 6:30. And then at 6:30, I tell myself, you know what? I'm not going to be able to fall asleep. So I get out of bed. I hop on the computer, and I look at the comments from last night, and I see that my revenue has continually gone down. And I look at the comments. I read through the comments. I pick a comment, toss that comment into ChatGPT, and start manipulating the data in a way in which I'm going to produce a video that's worth talking about. That's one of the things that's the hardest thing to do when being a content creator is that what am I going to talk about today, and is it relevant? Sometimes I'll tell myself that as I'm creating the content, right, that it's going to be relevant, and then it doesn't hit. Like my video on artificial intelligence, I thought that video was going to hit. I thought that was going to be a 10,000 view video. It didn't even scratch 1,000. And I was just mortified that I spent that much time invested in one video in order for no one to want to watch it. Because if your video gets less than 1,000 views, it's trash. And I know there's lots of content creators out there that make content and they're getting 10 to 20 views. I mean, that's been me. I mean, when I started out doing YouTube, I was mainly doing Call of Duty. And I would make these really long videos, these live streams, and I would get no views. I mean, about the only person who watched my videos back then was Oliver. I don't know why Oliver stuck around for this many years. I saw him in the comments yesterday for the first time in months. I've tried to talk to him on YouTube or on Facebook a couple times, but he hasn't responded. I've tried to call him dozens of times and he hasn't responded. But he's had a harder life than I have. He's definitely gone through a rough patch. I mean, over the pandemic, he lost his housing. I think he's been sleeping on the couch at his mom's house for years now. And it's an uncomfortable situation being a grown man. I think we're the exact same age. And over the last 3 years, his life has just been kind of just stopped as his housing got taken away and he's had to stay at his mom's house. And I think about that all the time. It's like, at least I have my own space. And I think that's one of the most fearful things that I have is, once they take away your space and you don't have space, then where does that put you? It puts you in a very vulnerable spot. And I think that's why most of us have this innate fear of losing our financial lifeline because it puts us in a bad spot in a place where we don't understand how to function. And that's kind of, I'm the first comment. Good for you, Lennon. Be the first comment. Ooh, ruse. Hello, fellow proles. I keep trying to get millennials team to do a dive into the Wall Street beta culture. Anyone else think this would be entertaining, intriguing? Wall Street. I actually looked that up this morning. I had it open up until a few seconds about that Wall Street bets on Reddit. I just haven't. Go to trade school, bro. Work with real men. There, I work. I keep telling you guys that's where I work. I work there. I don't need to go there. I wish I could tell you guys this, but it's just not real. I see these students and they're all, going to school pretending like everything's going to be okay. And the realities, these places are they're for-profit schools. Thank you for looking into WSB. It's my hopium. Okay. Well, I'm glad it's something for you. Oh my gosh, my throat hurts from smoking so much. I guess that's a bad thing. Yeah, unfortunately, when you spend so much of your day indulging in bad habits, it's just you wake up the next day and you're just kind of like concurrent viewers. So, what are you proles doing today? It's prole church. It's Sunday. It's cold as heck. I think it's 40 degrees outside right now, people. It was 60 degrees yesterday while I was walking home. Lunetta, listening from work, got called in. No rest for the wicked or the prole. The prole is wicked. Just ask any job creator about how they feel about the proles. No, I get it. Women control human resources recruitment in a trade area I know of, and they are massively picky. So it's pretty much over with the trade stuff and less jobs. People still have kids today in economy. Imagine born in 2024 like it's tough. It's tough in the future. Oh, I know. I couldn't imagine my mom having kids in the year 2024. Good morning, A. Hey, Proles. I'm sewing or planning out a sewing project for a jacket. I need to create something, not another prole. Laugh out loud. A. I asked you for a selfie and you didn't reply. I'm very, very disappointed in you. Lunetta, you must work retail. No way. Hey, MS, in the future, could you also talk about living standards and workplace challenges in Europe and just in America? Not just in America. I really enjoy listening to your insights. Sending all my love. uh, okay. I hope that love comes with a glove. Nice jackets are hard. Yeah. I just had someone tell me yesterday that they wanted to get a new jacket, and I'm like, it's never cold in Arizona. But it is bloody cold right now in Arizona. At 40 degrees, this is about as cold as it gets. All right, I'm only seeing 4 likes, and there's 20 of you here. I want to see everyone get their little finger on the like button. MS, my main argument for Wall Street beta is that the ability for us pros to live in short bursts the life of a shareholder. If you can time this well, gatekeepers are real. You can join the club. I'd rather join Fight Club. Remember, we don't talk about Fight Club. Ever watch Matt Walsh? He's another children shaming video. He's so out of touch. Most people are out of touch, Blue. Yesterday, while I was on my, uh, I don't need, on my luncheon, this person that was telling me about how I just needed to be happy and try harder and go back to school. And I was just like, what the heck did you put in your pipe? Because this doesn't work. Like, she had all these political talking points. She'd obviously had too much Dave Ramsey shoved up her rear end. And she just had to, like, by telling me, she even told me that I needed to be in a better mood. And I was like, the world's a horrible place. The world is getting worse every single day. And you're going to tell me that that would all change by being in a better mood. I don't think so. I think some people have to live a delusional life in which they tell themselves that things will just get better if you just hold on a little longer. Don't worry, be happy and homeless. Blue, love that. Don't worry, be happy and homeless. That's what I'm going to tell the lady that's living across the street from me at that bus stop right now, which I'm freezing inside right now, right? I'm inside my apartment right now, and I can feel the cold from underneath the door coming at me right now. I couldn't imagine being a person under a blanket at a bus stop right now. Like the amount of freezing cold that you must feel out there. And I mean, it's not like people haven't gone to Jesus around this area during the wintertime. Today's a perfect night where they're going to pick up the homeless popsicles, man. It is cold enough to freeze the hardest soul right now out there. And the human popsicles they're out there and they're going to defrost slowly, but they're gone, man. We can't bring them back. And maybe if A made a jacket for every single person that didn't have a place to sleep at night, maybe they would be okay. But even A doesn't have the power to make that many jackets. And of course, the government doesn't care. A human popsicle is the scariest phrase I've ever heard. Hey, I'm sorry, A, I didn't mean to scare you. Oh, man. Do you have that collective apartment heating AC that's a relentless battle? Yes, I do, Blue. They don't turn on the heat until the absolutely last possible moment when people are freezing in their homes and having to generate heat with two people with friction. If you get my drift. There's only friction heat allowed in this apartment complex, and I was looking for some friction heat last night, and there was none there. Uh, let's see. John says, the go back to school crowd baffles my mind. Oh, let me find some funding and free time for a higher education, the rest of life's expenses. Exactly. Flash pop. A flesh pop. That's what I call my Jacko Wiener. Flesh pop. I can't afford traditional popsicles. Hannibal Lecter would be loving the state-sponsored free popsicle peepsicles. Oh my gosh, you guys in the comments have peepsicles. Oh my god, I wish I knew what to say. Oh my gosh, flesh pop. Sounds like a brand of whatchamacallit, of low calorie popcorn. Flesh pop. Less flesh, more pop. Go deeper into debt and pretend everything's okay. Oh my god, this person that I was talking to is already $50,000 in debt to her undergrad. And she's planning on going to med school. Oh my God, are you kidding me? She's 30 years old and she's going back to med school. Oh my God. Let's see. In my last apartment, someone's dog perished because they couldn't turn the air conditioning back on. Just because it's October doesn't mean it's not 95 degrees. Oh my God, it was 95 degrees up until like 2 weeks ago here in Arizona. And that's why they don't turn the heat on too soon because sometimes in Arizona it fluctuates wildly. One day it can be 30 and the next day it can be 100. Philly has tons of, of peepsicle flavors. Oh God! Please stop saying peepsicle. Do you have any women in mind that you were thinking about possibly asking out on a date? I heard about the last one, and I'm sorry it was a flop, bro. Oh my gosh, John, there's a lot of them. The girl that works the receptionist desk on Saturday every 6 weeks. Such a cutie. I mean, absolute little doll. 90 pounds. Just super tiny, giant bazoongas. Um, the only thing I didn't like about her is her eyes are too wide apart. Like there's a lot of space between her eyes, and it took me a long time to find her physically attractive because of that. It's just her eyes are so far apart. At work, there's a really dark haired girl that I like with really big blue eyes. And then there's a school teacher I really like. She's just just mean as a rattlesnake, and I love it. And great feet, just mean. There's just something about her that I just like standing next to her when she's being mean. But yeah, there's quite a few of them. I mean, at night I think about quite a few of them. As shake hands with the governor, those unique features become an acquired taste. You're absolutely right, John. Even a girl's ugly feet can be an acquired taste, even if they smell. Like I think about a certain woman's feet all the time. And last time I touched them feet, they smelled like you wouldn't believe, but sometimes you crave the stink. But exposure effect in AI, it's relevant to what you just said. You'll see. Put exposure effect. Blue, I'd rather not put exposure effect into AI. I kind of hate being attracted to women that I work with. It's torture. Oh my God, is it ever, John? I passed her on Friday and she was out talking to a student. And I passed her like 3 times pushing a cart. I felt so despicably dirty. There's nothing like pushing a cart at work to make you feel like absolute garbage. Like I just kept putting my head down as I pushed the cart across the school. And she kept looking over at me, and I was just like, man, I'm a middle aged man pushing a plastic cart across the school where she could see me and how pathetic I looked. Aztec says popsicles have the white stuff inside. I like those orange cherry grape. Aztec cream. Aztec, I'm glad Mello didn't see your comment because Mello would have beat you over the head senselessly. Jesus Christ, 50K. Blue, it just means the more you interact with someone IRL, the more likely you are to overlook their flaws and see their positive traits. That's absolutely true because there's an I don't like eyes. Like the position of the eyes is very important to me. And I've always preferred eyes that not point up. Not I especially don't like eyes that point down because it makes you look like you have Down syndrome, right? I like eyes that point straight. Like I like girls with really like wide eyes, like straight, not up or down, but just straight, like I don't know what you call it, but just long eyes. I've been very, very physically attracted to that for a very long time. And that's what the girl had that I ran into on Friday. she's just a girl that I'd never seen features like that. Like she was skinny but curvy. She was tall but not skinny. And she had gray eyes and jet black hair and the whitest skin I've ever seen. Like the contrast between her black outfit and her white skin was absolutely amazing. Just truly, just a remarkable feat of so many very attractive features. And the fact that I kept turning my head to the left and she was right there was even more uh, just over the top. Just everything about her was just too much. Hey, is Mello like a roller derby girl? You said she was tough. Do you have roller derby there in Arizona? We do have roller derby, and yes, Mello is built that way. Definitely, she's stout, and she definitely is tough. You never want to run into Mello in a dark alley. She also has tattoos, like a lot of them, so all over her body. And so, yeah, she's not a person that's very approachable. John says, I push plastic carts too. It's a specific flavor of demeaning. Oh my God, John, the Rubbermaid gray cart. As a grown man pushing a cart across the school, there's just something humiliating about any grown person pushing a cart at work. I can't specifically tell you what it is, but pushing a cart is just, I don't know, it takes humiliation and it jacks it up a few notches. Russ, Queen Gambit star, good example of eye gap. Very attractive otherwise. Yes. That's the thing is she's got all the features. She's got beautiful brown hair. I like light green eyes. Just absolutely her face is perfect except for her eyes are just wide enough apart so that you notice them, but they're also like egg shaped. So I think that adds to the features of her face is that they're like elliptical shaped eyes, like the shape of them. The color's beautiful, her face is beautiful, her body's beautiful. I mean, she's very, very petite, but the separation between the eyes is just something you notice. Let's see. John says, I met one girl who did roller derby and she was one of the coolest people alive. I've never met a person that did roller derby. I just know I remember going out in college with a girl that did she played rugby and she told me that the reason why she was thick was because she could absorb more hits on the field. Let's see. Blue says, I see Mello as a rugby superstar. She would be a force to be reckoned with. She'd definitely stick that pole where the sun doesn't shine, given the right opportunity. John says, it's the posture you have to maintain while you push the Rubbermaid cart. Hunched over, pushing it, with boxes on the top of it. Yeah, it's demeaning. Pushing carts, practicing for sleeping, sleeping rough. Blue, I agree. I saw a roller derby event once. I couldn't do it, but I like the name of the team, Old Money Honeys. I was in Mexico one time with a group of people, and we were sitting in the stands and we were watching a bullfight. And in this bullfight, the bull won, right? The bull came up to the bullfighter and stuck its horn right between his cheeks, and it had him up in the air. And the whole audience gasped because this guy, you knew where that horn was, and you knew that this guy wasn't making it. The horn was tickling his heart, and it like they had to remove him from the horn, like someone, like a bunch of guys ran out and they like took him off the horn. It was a gruesome event that I'll probably never forget for the rest of my life. Russ, my dad used to tell me, find a beautiful woman with one flaw similar to the eye gap, don't avoid the opportunity. There's just, some women have really, really ugly feet. Like, there's one girl that I knew a few years back, and like, I kept looking. Her whole body was just not attractive, but she had really pretty feet. That was her only redeeming quality. Hey, they were from Newport, Rhode Island. That's a place historically known for old money. That is, the East Coast is, New England is renowned for its old money. Aztec MS, making it hard for his self, the girl who lives babies, but he fails to understand there's more brown black people in the world. Aztec, I love my pasty, pale girls. I've never gone out with a girl that wasn't pasty. Like, I mean, translucent white. That one flaw, they know it too. Humble them to reality, logic. Russ, that one flaw, they know it too. Humbles them to reality. You think they really do? Like, there's this one girl at the gym that I knew maybe 10 years ago. She was Eastern Indian, and the her eyes to face, what the ratio was like skewed, like her eyes were, they looked as big as baseballs. And I walked up to her one day and I said, "Man, you have huge eyes." And she just looked down, she looked up at me, she's like, "Millennial Steam, I know I'm very self-conscious about how big my eyes are." And I was like, "Oh my god, love pasty girls." Doesn't everyone? Oh my God. Oh man, you saw a human uh, gashed by a bull in real life? That's so gruesome. How old were you? I was 24, I think. 24. Yeah, I was 24. I was in my mid 20s when I had to move to Mexico to take a job for 6 months. And while you're living in Mexico, especially in a very, very small town, uh, they have like they have fairs and carnivals and festivals. These small towns still very much so exist. Like in the past, they still everything, people go out into the square every afternoon. There wasn't the invasion of the internet. The world in those small places is very, very casual. Very casual. Blue, Steam's about to pull. He's a Chad in denial. I'm sitting home on Sunday morning in the dark, freezing to death because I'm a Chad. Doesn't make any sense, Blue. John, if you lost your job and apartment, would you consider relocating to another city state to start over? John, that's a good question. Like, if I had no reason to stay here, would I just get my car and go somewhere else? I've often wondered if I just drive into Mexico and just figure it out and just, when my car ran out of gas, I just leave it on the side of the road and just keep walking. I don't know. I mean, I've considered it before, but I don't know the reality of it. Um, Hey, that's some Hemingway blank right there. Um, Hemingway was one of my favorite writers for a very long time, and then I found out who he really was, and then I hated him for it because Hemingway wouldn't talk to me in reality, especially in that short story in Africa. I think it was either the white no, it wasn't the white snows of Kilimanjaro, but the other one. I think the Green Hills of Africa, where he's out on safari, and he asked the safari guide if he could send one of the helpers um into the bushes to get one of the lions that they just shot that had run and hide in the bushes, and the safari guide says to him, "Wouldn't that be a bit murderous?" Oh my gosh. John, donkey shows. Oh my God, John. That just brings back terrible memories from my teenage years where the first time I saw a woman who had white stuff shooting out of her nose after the donkey finished. Like, I'd never seen that much stuff fly out of a woman's nose before. Whoever you go, you'll need money. Wherever you go, you'll need money and you'll need water, MS. You'll also need a place to go. Like you always say, the elements will get you without a plan. The elements always get you, A. Are you going to be uploading to Rumble again? I don't think so. Total so far I've made from Rumble is $16. So Rumble's not paying me, so I'm not uploading. John says, I've been using ChatGPT lately. Do you use the free version? Do you think there are viable alternatives that actually work well? I haven't really used anything, and occasionally when ChatGPT goes down, I'll go over and I'll use Copilot, the Microsoft version of it. But that's only if it goes down and I need to create like a thumbnail. Otherwise, I do pay the $20 a month because I do a lot of searches. I mean, a lot. Like every video, you guys don't know how much research I do for every video, but it's a lot. Like if I showed you guys my history for ChatGPT, you guys would see there's literally hundreds of searches because I go through like a process. I go through a vetting process every time I make a video. You guys don't know this, but I go and I look for extremely popular videos from other content creators and I take their scripts, I jam it into GPT, I run it through several filters. I always write my scripts from the perspective of a very poor, young, educated woman. If you guys have noticed that there's a theme in there, and I tell ChatGPT, act as a poor, educated woman, write the script. And then from that script, I tell it to create talking points, and the talking points I cut out exactly what I want from the talking points. Like I highlight in red exactly what I want from each talking point. Usually it's just one sentence from each talking point. And then I make my videos like that because, as I told you guys, on Thursday or Friday, I was reading an article on Forbes, and they said that the fastest way to lose your audience is to sound like your content was AI generated. So I generate ideas, I don't generate the actual script from ChatGPT. Everything you guys hear is me. It's just sometimes I need guidelines in order to keep me on track, or else I'll just go off on many, many tangents and never really make any sense because that's kind of the way that my brain works. Aztec, there's a lot of single young women in rural Mexico. There go you, have a wife for life and a big family, just don't leave the village. Let's see. Blue gifted one millennial Steam membership. Was gifted a membership by Blue. Aw, look at that. Blue, proles helping proles. I'll make more member generated content. Also, if members want me to make a particular video, just send me a DM and I'll make a video based on what you guys want. I don't mind making the videos, and since I'm going to be on pseudo vacation the next 2 weeks, I'll have more time to do that. I think this is the first time I've ever had a gifted sub. Uh, a blue heart. I don't know what is the blue heart. Proles helping proles. Is that the blue heart? I'm not certain, but I really appreciate. Show us the feet. Show us the feet. I don't have a camera. I'll make a short with feats in it in a little bit. Um let's see. You know, blue heart. I only ask that you put no single raindrop beliefs. It is responsible for the flood in AI. Responsible for the flood. Let's see. Okay. I feel like MS is dating us sometimes. The amount of research and time we we bond. I'm dating the stream. Watch out, stream. Don't get it in your eyes. Cover your eyes, stream. He's finishing. Good morning, beautiful proles. Good morning, the Internet Complaint Department. It's good to see that you rolled out of bed and into Prole Church. Make sure that you're wearing your Sunday finest. I want to make certain that everyone is wearing their church clothes while they watch. Anyone caught not wearing pants or a shirt will be dealt with accordingly. Steam is fierce with the belt when it comes to the dress code at Prole Church. And I think some of you need a good spanking. I'm looking at you, A. A seems like she'd be a bad girl. Um, I don't know. I was telling someone about getting an anime body pillow yesterday. I was like, yeah, I'd probably be covered in yellow stains pretty damn quick. I don't buy that for a second, A. Usually the quiet ones are the bad ones. I know. Need. That's a spanking, right? I think if I gave out spankings, I think the chat or the channel would blow up. It's time for a belt. It's time for a belt session. You gotta watch Arcania. My waifu is Victor. Waifu is Victor. I can only imagine what Arcania is. You know what? My curiosity has gotten the best of me. Let's bring up let's take that Arcania and let's ask ChatGPT what it is. All right, let's punch the clown, as they say. Okay, well, it's anime. Arcane is an animated series set in the universe of the popular video game Legend of Zelda. The show delves into the origin stories of several characters from the cities of Piltover and Zon, with a primary focus on the complex relationship between sisters Bai and Jinx, produced by Riot Games in collaboration with the French anime studio. Arcane has garnished acclaim for its intricate storytelling and stunning animation. Ooh, came out last month. Maybe I shall look into this. All right, let's see here. Let's see. The Internet Complaint Department. Dr. Phil has entered the chat. Really? Where's Dr. Phil? I think that guy needs a spanking. Checking in. Donald Trump checking in. Oh, Trump, how could you appoint so many freaks to your administration already? Really, Robert? Robert Jr.? Come on, man. That guy's got like he's probably going to stroke out from so much steroid use. Hello, Proles. Arcane, not Arcadia. Okay, Blue. Does anyone care about the Tyson Paul fight? I feel like that's also the end of an era. Jump to the worst possible timeline. Did you hear, who is actually gaining fame from that fight? Is the girl that carries the number in the fight. She is, what do you call it? What did they say? She is what do they call it? She's popular. She's actually gaining fame. She's trending on the internet right now for being so pretty. Jack JFK. Yeah, the number girl. Yeah, she's trending right now. She's like the actual star. Lexi Williams, she's a honey. Absolutely hot to. Yeah, she was. I saw her on the Daily Mail this morning. And somehow there's a picture of her looking at her cell phone in her bed. Like, how does that happen? I'll never be not mad. They shut Bernie out. That would have been bussin' if he ran. Bernie would have won. I mean, I saw this morning that 8 million people didn't show up at the polls this time. 8 million Dems didn't show up to vote for their guy, and that's pretty much what did it. It's you can't win when 8 million people stay home, including me. Oh, hey, I know what you're talking about, but I have no idea about any of that. Yeah, I didn't know either until I opened the news this morning. There's two of them, BTW. They got some sizable cannons too. Oh yeah, I saw that in that fakery. Fakery. But who cares? I don't care. No, I think most women are fake anyway. I mean, between the all the paint they put on their face and the rubber booty and the rubber cans and the fake eyelashes and the extensions and the surgeries and the nails and the hair. I mean, women are so like you don't even understand where the actual woman is and where the fakery starts because I mean, it's just and I get it. There's a lot of competition. Lip injections, Botox, yeah, you name it. And what do you call it? Piercings the and again, there's a lot of competition. So I can understand why they have to do all those things. We men, we don't get anything. We don't get no lip injections. I mean, I got my hair cut for the first time in a month yesterday. Micro needling, yeah. Ooh, micro needling is expensive. It's like 300 bucks. Botox is 300 bucks. Nails are 100 bucks. Yeah. Some call it fake up. When you're told your looks are all that matter, it distorts your perspective. I agree, Blue. It does. Also, you deserve a spanking for being a fake up. Everyone likes to sleep next to the clean things. Everything is uh artifice. Looking good is important for women, especially, but also men. Well, I was having that conversation with that 50-year-old cougar the other day, and she told me that she only dates, and remember, she's 50 years old. She's been divorced for 10 years. She has a 20-year-old kid, and she told me she will only date men that she's physically attracted to. And even if she doesn't like their personality, she will continue to date them because she's physically attracted to them. That blew my socks off hearing that from a woman because I was physically attracted to her. Like I'm not going to deny it. She's a very good-looking woman for her age. Like if she'd been like, "Let's get down," right now, millennials team, I would have been like, I'm down. I'm already down. I mean, up, but down for down in the dirty. I never go to the polls. I can't dance. I don't think you're supposed to dance on the pole. More like just shake. Isn't that what twerking is? Twerking isn't really dancing. It's more just like shaking in place. Let's see. Blue says, I'm too lazy to compete. I always look like Pigpen. It might be the crippling depression, though. Could be. I can't dance. Can you imagine if the whole stream right now, if we could all dance together? Oh my God, that'd be such an awkward moment. We're all dancing together, and no one in the stream can dance, and everyone is awkward looking and weird, and everyone's like introverted and weird. We're all dancing together. Oh my gosh, someone would call the cops. There's a dance party on the Millennial Steam channel. Call the cops. I'm gonna have to break it up with billy clubs, excuse me. We'll get these nerds what they need, and that's a good beating. We'll get these nerds what they need. They're in the channel's full of lust and hate somehow. I think that can characterize the new administration, right? Lust and hate. Like there's a definitely some element of that in our society right now. Like something fundamentally has changed in our world after November 6th. Like something just went dance party beat down. Everybody's shaking their rear end while at the same time taking the belly club right across the forehead. Yeah, it's like that, people. Yeah, for some reason, going back to the girl with the eyes that are just too far apart. I mean, how does that happen? Like, what happened in like your genetic makeup? Because obviously these are traits, right? You get your attractiveness or your unattractiveness. In my case, you get it from your parents. So at some point, either your mom or your dad or both had eyes that were too far apart. Yet someone didn't fail to take into consideration that if you create children, their eyes are going to be far apart too. Therefore, you're inflicting your hideousness onto the future generation. And if they have children, they will create children whose eyes are too wide apart too. Twerking, meet the octagon. Meet the octagon. Exactly. Internet complaint department. Boom. No one will sneak up behind you with her by your side. Blue, I never thought about it that way. But she has increased peripheral vision because her eyes are spread far apart. Like, I wonder if it would, in the heat of the moment, let's say in the heat of passion, if you would ever just like look at her, see how wide her eyes are apart, and instantly lose stiffness, lose traction, if you per se. And suddenly you just look at her and be like, oh my God, I'm not physically attracted to you anymore because your eyes are so far apart. And then she'd be like, what's wrong? And I'm like, I don't know. It just seems to have gone down and it seems to be retreating inside my body. And she'd be like, well, why is that happening? And it's like, your eyes are too far apart. Your eyes are too far apart. Charlie Brown dancing. Oh, yeah, exactly. That British dancing where you're just standing in place, just moving back and forth. Put a blindfold on and tell her that's your kink. Get creative. Oh my God. Put a blindfold. Oh my gosh. I remember there was one time in college, I was with this girl and we were at her dorm room and she was feeling frisky and I just like I looked down and she's like, well, maybe you need to look at something on the internet in order to to get you excited. And I was like, what's not making me excited is how terrible your breath smells. And so I didn't like kissing her because her mouth tasted terrible, and like my junk was like turned off by like everything else about her was super like good. Like even the pink taco was good, but it's just her mouth was terrible. Let's see. A boyfriend of mine would always complain about his ex's giant nose and weird overbite. I'm sure when he liked her, he was charmed, maybe, or at least overlooked, but the fact he would rail about it. I had a roommate like that about 15 years ago. He was dating this girl that had a really big nose. And after they broke up, she went and got a nose job, and she was like banging after she got that nose job. And he's like, why couldn't she get that nose job while I was dating her? Probably because she knew that the reason he broke up with her was that nose. How much it bothered him. Would you probably drive you nuts? Maybe, eh? John says, obscene tooth taste, yummo. Gross. That was the problem, John. Like she was good to go anywhere, right? Anywhere. We did it outside, we did it in public bathrooms, both men and women's bathrooms. We did it in my office. We did it everywhere. We did it outside quite a few times, but it's just the taste of her mouth was just if I really stopped and thought about it, like I could not do anything. I just remember one time she's just like, I need some action. And I was like, okay, here we go. Shazam. He could have paid to fix the nose and overbite cheap. Yeah, but investing into something that you're not fully invested into, Blue, you're not gonna do it. I had a big nose girl. My dad asked if she was Jewish. So embarrassing. Well, you don't have to look at her from the front when you're getting it on. Good morrow, fellow proles. How goes it, Steam? We're talking about weird facial traits and whether or not we can find them attractive past the initial looking at them. Like this girl, it took me a long time. It took not like I used to see her twice a week religiously, right? And then I didn't find her attractive at all when I first met her. Those eyes were just too much for me. Like I remember looking at her and she just looked like a monster, right? Her eyes are like set on the side of her face instead of in the middle, and like her hair was really simple, and she was small, and she was quiet. And then after I didn't see her for a long time, she came back and I saw her again, and I was so physically attracted to those offset eyes that I couldn't control myself. Yesterday when I asked her for her number, I was just like, you know what? I'm going to do this because I can't stand it anymore. I hate not being able to see her. No pun intended. I just like I was in the gym and I was working out and I thought to myself, come hell or high water, I'm getting this girl's number and we're going to start, hanging out because we spent a lot of time like when I'm there usually right when the gym opens at 8, and she'd be sitting there smiling with her weird eyes, and I just would come up to her and then we just start talking about everything. We talk about her feet, we talk about her job, we talk about what she wanted to do, what she was thinking about, what she was planning. We talked about everything, and it passed, the time between us passed so quickly. And then I'd go into the gym and I was thinking about her the whole time I was working out. Not the eyes, but just her overall body. And then I came back and I'm like, you know what? I'm not this is my line too. I'm not asking you out. I just want your number. And she's just like, okay, here you go. I was like, okay, all right, we got past the eyes and now we're moving into our next phase. A says, everything is a trade off. There are hard nose, oral hygiene is definitely one of them. Hard nose. Yeah. Oral hygiene. Yeah. Like I've met girls who smell down there. Like, I mean, I remember this one girl and she was kind of a little bigger and like she had odor that was coming from her exhaust system, right? It smelled like that part of the body. And like she pulled down her pants one time and I'm like, you need to go take a shower because you smell like rear end. She's like, okay. So she went over, she took a quick shower, came back out, boom, all good. Sometimes you gotta just tell girls they smell. I've had to tell girls that they smell before. Like this girl that I went out with the other day, like she has like armpit smell sometimes. When she doesn't take a shower for a few days and I see her, I can tell she hasn't taken a shower in a few days because she smells like armpits. Let's see. He was too poor to fix her nose and overbite. He works in compost for the local park system. Ooh, hey, that's terrible. I can't believe you'd hang out with someone that smells like compost. Let's see, Jeremy. Women who smoke are bad for kissing. Oh, I've heard. As a person who does, I've heard that some people learn to like the smell. I guess they just associate it with you. Damn, Steam. I don't engage with most with roast at all. I can't even afford a double cheeseburger from McDonald's. I feel that. Cody, has anyone here read the Communist Manifesto? It's required reading for this channel, Cody. Required reading. The following book is 1984, and the following book after that is Animal Farm, and the following book after that is Brave New World. If you haven't read these books, you probably shouldn't be here. Let's see. She told me I can smell myself. I can smell myself. Oh my god. Oh my God. I smell tuna. And she's like, I do too. Smell tuna. Steven's such a Chad Grimm. No, he's not. He's a troll. In fact, I was telling Super Wide Eyes yesterday. It's like, look at you. And I circled up my finger around her face and I told her how pretty she was. And then look at me. And she's just like, oh, you're so hard on yourself. I'm like, no. My life slogan, they will seek death and shall not find it. Blue, thank you for the dono. Everyone thank Blue for opening her wallet bigger than her heart and like it too. So open your hearts, proletariat. If you guys have watched my most recent video, what did you guys think? It was kind of a tough one to make because I woke up and I was super hungover. Thank you. The history of all Heathrow existing society is the history of class struggles. I agree 100%. The history of class struggles. Karl Marx. MS, I'm broke. You've donated enough for a whole lifetime. You are excused, but that doesn't excuse you from getting a spanking, though. Spankings are free. I pay. I pay these on thy don't have to. Blue, you don't have to. You're a good girl. Grim, amen. Hey, remember the tale of the widow's mite? The widow's mite. I like that. Like termite. Oh my. Grim. Spankings are free. Come one, come all. The getting is good. So, just asking the chat here, why do you think that we can overlook flaws like wide set eyes? Like the other day when I was in the Kroger's, there was a really pretty girl with a guy that looked like he'd been in a car accident times 10. Like he was a foot shorter than her, he was three times her weight, and she was looking at him with the most loving face. And I'm like, what's wrong here? That girl could have any man in the world, and she chooses to be with this guy that looked like he hit every branch on the ugly tree. And then I look over at the cashier, and his super hot, skinny, white, pale girlfriend is standing there, like reaching over to kiss him. And I'm like, what? What happened? What am I in Bizarro World? Like she had two basketball-sized buns and those tight jeans, and I'm looking at him, and it's like he's working at Kroger's. He's getting picked up at Kroger's after work because he doesn't own a car, and she's picking him up at work, and I'm thinking he's got to be hung like a mule in order for him to be able to get a girl like that. Let's see. No, I'll look it up though. Look it up, A. Brave New World and 1984 are good books, but I'm not sure the audience here understands the warning from them. The warning is today's society. I mean, look at the way society's falling apart. I mean, you have people working 40 hours a week to be homeless. It's like a mothering complex. Really? Like your children can never be too ugly, Grim. Hmm. That must be true because otherwise, why would anyone be with them? Let's see. A says, Blue, that's a very good resemblance. Thank you. we're we're not doing AI requests today. Tomato, tomato. Yes, we are. We're always doing AI requests. Let's see. Watership Down is slept on rabbits. What does that even mean, Blue? Makes sense, or else you're gonna get a spanking. Let's see. Hey, haven't you ever heard seeing through the eyes of love? That's a topic to research. Seeing through the eyes of love. So, A, Is that what happened to me? Is that I moved past the eyes to the rest of her because I started becoming very fond of her? Hmm, that's a really good way of putting it, eh? Because for the longest time, I mean, she's worked there for, I don't know, maybe 6 months, maybe longer. And I just didn't see her. Like, I'd walk right past her every time I saw her, and I'd look over at her, I'd wave, but I didn't see her. And it was once I really saw her, I couldn't stop looking at her. Like yesterday, I mean, you would have needed a crowbar to pry us apart when I came in and I saw her. I mean, we instantly like, like instantly, it was like I don't even know how to put it. It's when I approach her, I feel that instant attraction to me, and I'm attracted to her with even more power, if that makes any sense. So when we have to pull ourselves apart, we don't want to be apart. So that's why when I went back to see her when I was leaving, it's like, you know what? I don't like not being with her. Even though she's got those eyes, like the eyes didn't even matter to me. Like I moved past the physical into the emotional. Like I wanted just to hold her. And she felt the same way, which was really, really strange to me because normally if someone looks like that, I mean, I passed her 100 times without looking at her. Cody, do you think that prole class should be tax exempt? Cody, I think that the proletariat should pay like 1% taxes, and the rest of the taxes should be acquired by people who can afford to pay them. The proletariat shouldn't be have a tax on being alive and being poor. It's not fair, in my opinion. Blue says, "A face only a mother could love." The book Watership Down. I thought you were a literature major. I am. I have 100 literature books sitting right there that I can point at. No one would have that many books if they weren't a literature major. Put rose-colored glasses in, AI, or I riot. Blue, you're getting ready to get spanked. You need to settle down. No rioting in here. We're gonna rose color. I think it's the phrase is rose tinted glasses. Ooh, touche. I can't afford to look at girls. Could cost you everything. Girls are expensive. Magic is here. Can you believe there's people swimming in Tempe Town Lake this morning for the Ironman? Oh my God, I forgot the Ironman is today. Thank you for reminding me, not going anywhere near that area. For some reason, last year and the year before, I forgot that it was Ironman. And I tried to drive into downtown Tempe only to spend the next half an hour having to drive all the way around the course in order to get to Papago Park. Marco, we're talking about girls with weird shapes and features right now. So strap yourself in because I'm going to talk about girl with the offset eyes to the side. Do you think men can have periods and get pregnant? If they're trans men, they can. Does gambling come inclusive with the pro life? I believe it does. Because remember, poverty, lottery. Poverty, lottery. I think a lot of people try to gamble their way out of poverty, and it doesn't work out for them very well. They lose a lot of money, and the lottery system makes its dough. Why don't socialists and communists ever advocate for lower taxes for the poor? Seems like it would make sense in the context of class struggle. I agree. I absolutely agree with that statement. Magic Mike, laughing myself. Yeah, we've been talking about this girl from the gym pretty much the whole stream, and I can't get past the fact that I still am physically very attracted to her, even despite her eyes being weird. Would you ever refer to yourself as a cisgender male? No, Marco Polo. I don't know what that is, but I'm all man. So I don't know what that is, but whatever it is, I'm all man. Oh my gosh. Uh, Blue, stop donating. You're gonna lose all your money. Oh my gosh. The game is rigged. The house always wins, team. Poverty lottery. Wall Street bets, big tech lottos. They actually work from time to time, though. No cap. Every once in a while, a pro wins. I mean, that's why they like to parade around lottery winners. That's why the lottery, when there's a winner, it makes the mainstream media because they got to tell people that someone won so that other pros will get inspired to play the lottery and they will also not win. Um, let's see, Marco, have you ever watched Undercover Boss? I just watched the show. What a joke. Yes, I watched it years ago. And I thought, this is so stupid. Like your boss doesn't know that you're poor. Come on. Your boss makes sure that you're poor. Yeah, no, thank you. I felt that way when I was watching Donald Trump work at a McDonald's, like undercover boss. He doesn't know that you can't make it on putting fries in the bag, little bro. No way out of the mouse utopia. You will own nothing and you will be happy. Oh my gosh, the sad ending of the mouse utopia experiment where all the mice went dead. Eat the bugs, live in the pod. Yes, live in the pod. Is Mars single now? No, Mars. I haven't talked to Mars since Thursday. I don't know what happened to her. I was talking to her Thursday about something, and then suddenly she just vanished. So she messaged me Wednesday night for something, and I was super drunk. So I just wrote her back. I'm super drunk, can't talk now. I didn't even remember writing that, but I don't know what she asked me about either. So, thanks, Blue. Thanks, Blue, for the gifted sub. I really appreciate you handing out the dough. False hope. Give them bread and circus, and they will not revolt. I think we need more than bread these days. I need a hamburger. My last prodigy dipped. He actually blessed you by recommending your channel to me. Ooh, my last prodigy dipped. Blue, who was that? Who recommended you to my channel? Because I haven't seen deconstructing narcissism in a long time. Is he okay? I mean, that guy. I always got vibes that that guy was ready to exit out of this existence. Grim, 100%. Yeah. Hey, Mike Tyson and Jake Paul made millions. I guess they both won. No, the girls that held the number up is trending on social media right now. So she's the actual winner. Mike Tyson, what an embarrassment. If you guys didn't get to play the video game Mike Tyson's Punch Out, I highly recommend that game. It's super hard, but every time I think of Mike Tyson, I think of that video game. I spend my weekends laying in bed doing nothing. I wish I could do that. I just, after a certain amount of time of being in bed, my body gets tired of being in bed. There might be a member only video in there you haven't seen yet. That's early peeping, though. I haven't made any members only videos yet. Yesterday I made a lot of videos because my counts were down, so I had to make a lot of today videos. Bro, I get called essential, but no extra money at work. Being called essential is being called disposable. I drink myself to sleep every day, hoping I stay asleep and I can't take the purgatory any longer. Grim, I was drinking till 3 o'clock in the morning, so I feel that. I drink every day to get through work. Cigarettes and alcohol is my mental diet. So are mine. My throat actually hurts from doing those things last night. It was life is overrated 96. Oh, he overrated 96 used to be a regular. His skit videos are still up, but not the deep content. Oh, yeah. That's actually when I went to go look at him. Those skit videos are like the reason why I didn't keep watching, but he was always commentating on this channel or commenting on this channel, not commentating. Where are the uh in this pro life? Where are the blank in this pro life? I don't know. I guess they're just not here anymore. What are your plans for Thanksgiving, MS, and other props? I don't do anything for Thanksgiving. I don't really have any family or friends, so I usually just sit in this chair where I'm sitting now and I just watch the day go by. I just Christmas, Thanksgiving, all the holidays are just another day to me. I'll probably be here talking to you guys on Thanksgiving because I don't have anything else to do. He didn't deport them in 2016 and he won't do it this time. Grim, I hope you're right. I really, really hope you're right because I just read something on CNN where he's planning on spending $1 trillion to deport 20 million people. What's up, MS? Not much. You're from Australia, right? Gallant Gale? You're the only Aussie member I have, which means it's tomorrow already there. He didn't drain the swamp before. Don't expect him to do it this time. I think this is going to be extra swampy this time. Hello, everyone. What's real, everyone? Yes, sir. Yep. My favorite Aussie. Hey, do you have a mullet? Like every Australian should have a mullet. It should be like a national haircut. We should, you know what? We should defy the system and all get mullets. You'll have the MS mullet. A lot of what you say applies to us in Australia too. Except, did a dingo eat your baby? No, probably not. Damn, those dingoes always getting in places where they're not supposed to. The tariffs will destroy the economy. God, let's hope not. When I was a teen, I rocked the mullet. Oh yeah. An Australian with a mullet. What an amazing coincidence. Imagine proles actually believing in billionaire politicians. Billionaire politicians. Overcome reality. So millennials team, there is no way out then. It's over. Yep, it's over. It's been over for a long time. Most people just can't come to accept the fact that it's over. The economy is already cooked. Just try looking for a job and tell me that the economy is not already cooked. Anyone who thinks that they're just going to be happy and somehow everything's going to be fixed is living in a fake reality. I have a mullet look sometimes. I'm just being frugal on grooming costs. So, Zero Land, you cut your own hair. Every time I meet an IT guy and I look at his haircut and I'm like, "Do you cut your own hair?" Most technology men cut their own hair to save money, and it's not pretty, people. The common man thinks that not of the matters of the state, but the pebbles in his shoe. What does that mean? That's going to ChatGPT. Inu Blue. Sometimes you say some crazy stuff in the chat. So let's see what ChatGPT has to say about what you just said. The phrase beautifully captures the essence of human nature. People are often more preoccupied with their immediate personal struggles than with larger abstract issues. It resonates deeply with the idea that the common man prioritizes survival and comfort over broader social concerns. Hmm. Explore how personal challenges like financial stress, health, and relationships overshadow concern about grand societal issues and why the perspective is valid and worth addressing. I don't think we're going to deep blue. Deep blue. Blue, I knew you were a girl. My boyfriend just cut his own hair. Blue. Now you're gonna need that paper bag over his head so you can get it on. I get my mother to cut my hair. It's free. Oh my gosh, I wish I could get my mother to cut my hair. Dan, that's funny, but the only time I cut my own hair was during lockdown. Same. I grabbed the clippers and I started cutting my own hair. It was during COVID, and I remember it'd been like 6 months since I gotten a haircut, and I was sitting in my chair and I was drunk as hell, and I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna take care of this. And I started cutting my own hair. I thought my head was square, right? And I was so drunk, I thought, oh, my head is square, so I'm just gonna go up and down on the sides, and then I'm gonna go a little bit over the top, and I'm gonna cut my own hair. Oh my God, it was a total freaking disaster. It took months for my hair to grow back, and I had like a bald spot right on the side of my head where I went too close to my skull. See you, fools. Comments are being censored. They're always being censored. I'll get you a Floby, Steam. We're getting retro with this one. Floby. Do you guys still remember the commercials for the Floby? Let me ask ChatGPT what the Floby is. I remember the commercials as a kid. The Floby. Floby. Apparently, it's still around. Floby.com, people. Oh my God, they have a commercial for it embedded. For some reason, ChatGPT has been putting YouTube videos into their responses as of late. The Floby is an innovative home hair cutting system that combines a hair trimmer with a vacuum cleaner to provide a convenient and mess-free hair cutting experience. Invented in 1986, the Floby has been marketed since 1988 and has sold over 2 million units. The Floby attaches to most standard vacuum cleaners with a round hose. As you move the device over your head, the vacuum lifts your hair into the cutting blades, ensuring an even trim. The cut hair is immediately collected into the vacuum cleaner, keeping your surroundings clean. The system includes various spacers, allowing you to customize hair length from 1/2 inch to 6 inches. It is cost effective, convenient, and mess free. All right, I'm giving free Floby haircuts to anyone that needs it. Oh my gosh, Blue, how old are you? What do you do? You seem like you're red. Oh, I think A's hitting on you, Blue. Better look out. A's making advances. I think A needs another spanking. Teach her a lesson from getting too close to the chat. Haircuts used to be $5 when I was a little kid. Now they're like $50. I know. I was just at Great Clips yesterday and my haircut was like $40 with tip. I'm like, look at my hair. I look like a retard in this haircut. And the lady just looked at me like, all right, next. And I remember the guy because she was at the same location up the street where I normally go. So I went to a different Great Clips in order to get rid of the hair cutters that I normally have that are terrible. And there she was, and she cut my hair. And like I said, the last time that she cut my hair, the next guy who cut my hair is like, "Who cut your hair?" And she's standing right next to him, and I'm like, I don't know." And he's like, "Whoever gave you this haircut shouldn't be cutting hair." I was like, "Oh my God." Grim, I was born in '88. Oh my God. I keep trying to convince my husband to let me cut his hair. I cut the dog's hair during lockdowns once, and after that, the husband was a hard pass on the haircut. Hey, I need to get you a Floby. We're gonna share one Floby with everyone on the chat. That's how we're gonna cut hair. Everyone gets a free mullet with the Floby. Let's see, Blue. Hey, I'm 50, mail carrier. I'm not formally educated, but fancy myself as a pseudo intellectual. Blue. She's mine. Back off. We're gonna fight over who's dating who in the chat now, huh? Once we all have mullets with the Floby, we'll all be equal. Let's see. Australians grow out their hair for quick and easy kindling form their weekend camping trips. Oh, we don't go on that many camping trips in America. At least I don't know anybody who does. Blue, I looked up Lucas Warner. Very disturbing. Oh my God. Laugh out loud. Nah, I'm a whole mess. A whole mess. Just shave your head with clippers. You'll save $1,000 a year. We're all a mess, Blue. That's why we're here. Woke up to the sound of wild hammers this morning. Oh, so your neighbors were getting it on too, huh? Sometimes I wake up and I can hear them. I can hear the bed shaking. I'm glad you did. Next, Dan Siley Nick Crowley has a disturbing video on that monster. Turns out it was my neighbor's roof being created. Oh, well, that's good. You guys better pay the pastors. The tide bills gotta get paid, baby. Tide bills. Oh my God, I don't know what happened to me. Was it last weekend in which I was somehow I went, yeah, it was last Sunday. I went and I was doing my laundry and I think I touched the Tide Pod and then I threw it in the washer, but I didn't wash my hand when I got back, and I must have put my hand too close to my mouth, and somehow Tide Pod got inside my mouth. But man, I had never felt so lightheaded before in my life on the live stream. Like I was in and out of consciousness last weekend. It was crazy. My mother was a mail carrier, a prole job if there was ever one. I feel for you. Yeah, that's why they call it going postal. Do you want kids and a wife team, or does Evil Corp not pay you enough? Evil Corp does not pay me enough. And besides that, right now I'd only want to have kids with one woman, and her eyes are strangely set apart. I wouldn't want my kids to look like that. So, no. I mean, would I marry her? Yes. Would I have kids with her? No. Too strange of features. I'd feel bad for my kids if they look like that, if they look like their mom. Because I could get used to it, but I could see how she would get teased her whole life for having eyes like that. Tied as in the offerings they send around during church MA. Oops, wrong tides. I thought you meant Tide Pods. Oh my god, MS. Oh, the unintentional Tide Pod challenge. Yes, A. It was definitely don't do it, people. It's ghetto. It's ghetto. World star. World star. Oh my gosh. You know, we should be able to fight each other in the chat. And we should just be able to have our own fight club. Steam is a prophet indeed. Prophet. For getting Tide Pod in his mouth, he's a prophet. How will the pastor pay off his new Benz? And all those girls that I have. Those girls ain't free. Remember, the girls that sing and dance in the background like an MC Hammer video, like my Fly Girls, they ain't cheap either. So yeah, that's why we need donations. We gotta pay the Fly Girls. Unless you girls in the chat want to become my Fly Girls for free. I couldn't see A being a Fly Girl. Brother of God, brothers of faith. Team's got hosts. I got Fly Girls. I can't believe how popular they used to be in music videos. I don't watch them anymore, but I'm sure there's still Fly Girls out there. Pay the tide. You don't want the pastor coming up to you and telling you if you don't pay the tide, then you will spontaneously combust, or you'll be kicked out of church for no good reason for being a deadbeat dad. Some guy came up to my truck and started a crackhead screaming at me, and he almost got mace, but he ran off like fast zombie. I had that happen one time when I was in the hood. My mom's friends always lived in the hood, and so we had to go visit them in the hood. And there's always crackheads in the hood, right? So they come up to your car and start talking some crazy crap. That's what he'll say to you if you don't pay. I've been watching reruns of the BattleBots. Oh my God, I was watching BattleBots the other night too. they, they had a random BattleBots video on the Discovery YouTube channel like 2 weeks ago, and I forgot how much I really liked watching it. Pay your tithes, you going to hell. Plenty of money, just doesn't want to be with me. Go to the church and not pay tithe for a whole year and see how nice the church is. You get kicked out of the first week. I pay my tithes. Church people really are. My BattleBot will accept dollar bills, but only 10 and over. Hey, What else is a battle bot other than an ATM machine, right? I mean, the amount of money they drop on building those things, it's incredible. And what skills? Let's say you went to MIT, right? And you build a battle bot and became like the best battle bot. How do you put that on a resume? I built a battle bot while I was in college and it was very good. Like I that happens a lot when I was an EMT. They came up with a hella crazy to my ambulance. Hella crazy. Where else are you supposed to go with your crazy? You go into the ambulance. Holy rollers are the worst. Spoiler alert, we're the battle bots. I don't have much fighting life charge left. Yeah, I'm the battle bot that's lost two of its wheels and it just can just move in a circle, right? All I can do is like a push the power button and all I can do is go in a circle. That's my battle bot. It's done. It's beaten to crap and it's just waiting to be lit on fire or something. Imagine believing a fairy is gonna come out of the sky to save you. I'm still waiting, Grim. Money is God. Ain't that the truth? Hi, I'm Karen. I go to church and cleanse myself of my Karen says, but I slip. Oh Lord knows. But it's cool. I'm nightmare at work to deal with, but I pray for my own Karen forgiveness. Karen, stop taking it in the rear from police. That's all I ask. The devil is God. I think that's some blasphemy in the chat now. DoD hires you to make death robots. It all starts with the war games. Oh Lord. So that's where you go to work after you make it big on BattleBots. The War Department. As above, so below. Was assumed all the risk. The C-suite keeps all the bounty. Yes, the bounty. And the tide. What in the butt? What in the butt? Fleece. Fleece is back there working his magic. Fleece says it's more important than water and food. The booty warrior is never wrong. MS, your battle bot sounds like a kamikaze robot. One way trip. It's a one way trip. There's no coming home. We're sold our souls for money the second we became wage slaves. Oh my God, tell me about it. There's never enough money either. Like I just got paid on Friday and I looked at my bank account yesterday and I was like, it's gonna be tough. It's gonna be tough to get to Friday to 2 weeks from now on Friday, only to make the same amount of money. Isn't the paycheck the most ironic punishment ever? The 2 week paycheck. It's like you make just enough to scrape by to the next Friday. But that's it. And then you spend all of the time in between working for crap. Getting some booty, more important than food, more important than water. The booty is tight. Wagey warriors assemble. I would hate to have wagey soldiers assemble because they'd all be all malnourished and ill-focused and not knowing which way to fight because they don't have enough food to fight. Oh my God, the proletariat would be the worst fighting force ever. You literally could wave your hand in the air in front of them and they'd all fall down from malnutrition. The bonus comes every 5 paychecks where you can afford to go out for a mid experience, especially when you go to work on Monday morning and see Karen first thing. Yeah, Karen. Why do poor parents have children? I don't know. Like, not only poor, but can you imagine being ugly and then deciding that you want to have children and then having ugly children too? Like, why would you do that to a child? Why would you purposely make them the most vulnerable people on the playground by making children with another ugly person? Like ugly and ugly doesn't equal anything but uglier. You see how they assemble the motivation, soft shoes, Walmart team meeting, like a minstrel show. On the proles working for him, I suggest profit sharing one time. It was an immediate turn off for him. My family tree burns with me. Grim, I think we can all just say the same. Most of us are like A said, we're all kamikazes. We're in this life and we're just one. Once we end, the ride is over. We will never have children. Mainly because we can't afford them, and number two, because we shouldn't have them because we're ugly. Karen got that pog body. I do like me some pog, man. I mean, my favorite star of the adult industry is Alexis Texas. Oh my God, that booty is banging. That is the OG Pog, in my opinion. In my opinion, I can't think of another star that um has that kind of name recognition other than Alexis, and the carriage in the back. Oh my God, I just mentioned that, and I just got a something in my pants just happened. It's like, uh oh, Mr. Happy's awake. What the? Go back to sleep, Mr. Happy. You're not allowed to be happy right now. Back to sleep. I like. I, I need help. Yes, you do. I think they have a rehab for that, right? BBWs Anonymous, the support group that's all BBWs. That's hilarious. I've met a lot of people who went to rehab and then met someone and then they started doing things together. I was like, that's not the point of going to rehab, is to meet someone that has better stuff than you. What a great time to join the stream. Laugh out loud. MS, would you enjoy work if you work exclusively with pogs? Oh, Fuma Troopa. I don't know. Oh, that would be really hard. No pun intended. Pogs being surrounded by pogs all day. Because as a nurse who works on the weekends, it's a reality for me, bro. I'm surrounded by pogs. I only made enemies. Oh my God. Boopa Anonymous. I remember a psychology call-in show where a couple worked at McDonald's. The woman wanted help conceiving, and the doctor tried to dissuade her because of finances. You can tell she didn't care at all. Most poor people don't care. That's why. They're there for the pushing, not for the bill paying. MS, you ignored my AI suggestion, and I get my nun ruler ready. Put those knuckles. That Catholic rage is in me. I didn't see it. Respect. I only made enemies. Sorry, Blue. I didn't see it. The chat's going fast, and I'm old, so I can't see very well. I had such a negative upbringing, and as a young adulthood, my T levels are in the 200s. I need to TRT. Oh my goodness. TRT. MS, Trump will make you work at Walmart. Oh my God, he will. He'll make us all work at Walmart. Prole Anonymous. Nobody could help each other. A prole support group. That's what this channel feels like. It's like a prole support group for us. Donald Trump wants the proles to ride the bus. The prison bus. No, it was as above as so below. Okay. Let me put that into Chat GPT. Sorry, I didn't know what that meant. Let's see. As above, as below. Let's see what Chat GPT has to say about this. Ooh, I've been crapping my pants for like the last hour and a half, but I'm like, if I go to the toilet, you guys are gonna hear it. Anytime I leave, you guys know where I go, so I can't go to the bathroom. So if you guys hear something, I just crap my pants. The phrase as above as below is an ancient axiom for Hermeticism, a philosophical and spiritual tradition that originated in Hellenistic Egypt. It is often associated with the Emerald Tablet, a fundamental text of alchemy attributed to Hermes Trismegistus. The phrase encapsulates the idea that there is a correspondence between the macro cosm and the universe or heavens, and the microcosm, individual or earthly existence. That's pretty deep, Blue. I don't think this channel can handle that. It taught me a lesson. There's no compromise between labor and management. MS, as a manager of the Prole group, do you care to host us a pizza party? Oh my God. A pizza party at Chuck E. Cheese with a raffle at the end for something you don't want? We're going to have a raffle at the end of our pizza party for a brick of ramen. Oh my gosh. Please give us a pizza party, MS. I want to remember how Fleece Johnson treated us. All right, but at the pizza parties, bring your own pizza, preferably Red Baron pizza, and we'll all meet together at Chuck E. Cheese, but we'll bring our own microwave pizza because we can't afford to buy the Chuck E. Cheese pizza. Dang, AI doing too much. I thought it would just meant your good deeds outweigh your bad. Nope, it definitely way deeper than that. What is this, Amazon? If you need to go to the bathroom, go. Oh my God. I heard a lot of stories about what you do at Amazon when you need to go to the bathroom, especially number two. Is there any point being alive if you're not rich? Nope, absolutely none. You're just wasting space. Oh, yes, the tragamustosis. It sounds like a position you get into for the getting of love when you're not physically attracted to the person. So you get into the tremagust position so you don't have to look at them directly, but you're still looking at their rear, so you're still in the mood. Wait, who's bringing the dog food? We all bring a can of dog food to share with each other. Might really be a nun. A nun. The two are mutually exclusive. Management wins when workers fail. Agreed. Topping not included. Check company email. There's nothing included. It's just an empty box that says pizza with a crayon on the outside. MS, start juicing. There's nothing left to do. Juicing's expensive, and I don't like needles. Let's see. Does Keratin know about your hatred for them? They do now. Carrington. Carrington. Oh God, that reminds me of that little bear when I was a kid that talked. Was it Remington Bear or no? What's the name of that little bear that used to talk? You could buy him at Mervin's. It's like I think his name was Remington. No, or something like that. It's called the Amazon bucket. Amazon bucket. Gross. Let's see, mailman. We've been peeing in the truck since the 70s. Hermes Trismegistus. It's like a reverse cowgirl meets missionary, which meets the pretzel position. I'd never heard of the pretzel position until the other day. I think I was in the car with Mello when she mentioned the pretzel, and I was like, "What the pretzel? Let's move to Canada." All right, get in the bus, Gus. We're moving to Canada. I know of a Mother Goose position in the Mother Goose. So I'm gonna ask the girl with the wide set eyes. It's like, hey, do you know the Mother Goose? And she's gonna be like, what are you talking about, Millennial Steen? She's like, the Mother Goose. That way I don't have to look at your eyes. And she's just like, I love my eyes. I don't know what you're talking about. Make Canada great again. Did you buy designer clothes? Yes, Paddington. Exactly. That's the bear, the Paddington bear. I knew I remembered a bear. He's the bear with the blue coat. And you could buy him at Mervin's. I used to in high school make me cool guy. Really? I couldn't afford nice things. And I didn't go to high school, so I started liking nice designer clothes when I was in elementary school when I saw the other kids wearing their Air Jordans. I would do a video on the 4B movement. Seems like Susie really doesn't want to have anything to do with Johnny now. Oh my God. And Johnny, uh, conservative Republican, yeah, you're not getting any love. Teddy Ruxpin. Oh, Teddy Ruxpin. That's who I was thinking of as well. There's so many bears from when you were a kid. Teddy Dixkin. Oh my god, that must be one of those flesh things that I keep hearing about. I'm a heretic or an apostate. I don't even know. You're something, Blue. If I go to Canada, it's gonna be for euthanasia. I've had enough of this prison planet. Me too. Let's all get in the let's all get in the pod together. Trumpy bear. I'm a heathen, so am I. Pro-life sounds even worse in Canada. Yeah, because in Canada, they can euthanize you for the disease, the uncurable disease of poverty. you got you got poverty? We got a cure for that. What's on the card for me? Bad credit, no qualifications, unskilled labor. I'm 33 years old, living at home with a mother. I'm on 0 hours. I'm thinking of going to be homeless and a beggar. Hey, there's a career. Homeless and a beggar. I regret not sleeping with my coworkers as a nurse. Okay. Well, that there's always time. So many missed opportunities, so many missed organisms. Organisms. Oh Lord. All aboard. We're heading towards Canada. Get on the bus, people. For those of you who can't get seats, you will have to ride on the outside of the bus, preferably on the top. If you fall off of the top of the bus, you can't hold me responsible because I told you not to do it. But get on the bus anyway. All aboard. Overcoming reality. I can donate 5 cents to you. 5 cents. Oh, Jesus Christ. I don't even want to look in the collection plate this week because there's going to be a deuce in there. And I'm looking in Blue's direction as to who put the deuce in there. She has the most training on how to go to the bathroom in in small places. Ever heard of the process church of the final judgment? I was gonna get a tattoo, but their brand looks too much like a swastika. That's how you know your church is good. When, when you're, when you know that it might be mistaken for something else that you're not really into. The process church of the final judgment. It does sound like something very German. We're a gifted folk. You can go in a cup, then you can go on live stream. We should institute the purge. The purge. I think it would be a good idea. Sadly, most of us wouldn't make it, but I mean, it's still a good idea. Why do people take happy photos in their Facebooks? I have no idea. I was just asking someone that the other day. It's like, why do you always look so happy in all of your pictures? Like when I was looking at, I don't even know what to call her, gym receptionist number two yesterday, and I was just looking at her, and I was just thinking to myself, I wonder what she looks like when she's finishing. Like does she close her eyes? Does she open them even wider? Maybe her eyes actually get closer together when she finishes and then wider apart when she's not finishing. Like the eyes move back and forth across her melon. That would be cool if our eyes actually moved on our face. Like we could just, they would move around. We're not making it now, Steve. I know we're not. I would do well in the purge because I'm good at hiding. Hiding. Can I hide from this economy? Because this job economy needs people. We need a hidey hole from the economy until things get better. Oh God, two mailman, one truck. Oh my God, sharing one cup to do the do. Two mailmen in one truck. Oh my God. Like you hold the cup for one of them and then they hold a cup for you. And you hope you're like, don't go too much. Because if you overflow the cup, then we're going to have crap in here. I'd happily go looking for Felice Johnson if ever job If ever job I ever had, if the movie was real. Oh my God. The stream always goes off the rails the longer it goes on. It's so true. Hide and shank. Teamwork makes the dream work. You hold a can and I'll hold the can for you. Oh my God. Oh my God. That'd be like the shark, wouldn't it? No more sharks. We now have cameras at the self-service checkouts, and I know it's because there's more desperation in crime. They've always had cameras at my self-checkout. We need an AI image of fleece. We created the AI image of fleece. Just go look in the community tab. Look how fierce fleece looks. Joe Public, you have to go look at the community tab because it was requested. Sounds like van life. Share a bucket? Hey, I'd hold the bucket for you. I'll hold the bucket for you any day. There's one in a community post. Yep, it's there. Why do they outlaw homelessness? Because it's ugly. If they could outlaw being ugly in public, could you imagine that? That you're not allowed to be ugly because it's obscene. It's a um, it's considered indecent to be ugly in public, so therefore they outlaw it. And therefore, if you go outside as an ugly person, you have to wear a paper bag over your head, and that's the only way you're allowed. And the paper bag has to have a smiley face on it. 33 people, 20 likes. That's a flogging. Oh, I guess that's what we're going to have to do. It's time for more spankings because people aren't hitting the like button. And that's how we're going to handle it. I'm going to get a switch. You guys are going to bend over, pull down your pants, and I'm going to switch those heinies until we get more likes. Because that's how we're going to have to play. We're going to have to play rough with the proletariat. Most of us are already dead. Grim, I agree. Being ugly is illegal. I'm a lady. I go alone in the woods like the good Lord intended. I go alone. Did you hear about Walmart about to implement body cams? They should. Employees act like wild animals. They need to. I liked. I'm ready for my flogging. I give floggings just so that you feel alive, so that you have something to feel. Eggs are awesome and give me energy, but the farts after, oh my goodness. Don't eat eggs. I died the day I was born. Me too. I wanted to be put back inside when I was born. I Once I came out and I looked around and I saw that I wasn't rich, I wanted the doctor to put me back inside. Uh, I'm dead on the inside. We're all dead on the inside. Front end workers, I think we'll have them. Not sure since I work overnight. Yeah, front end, all the customer service facing employees should have body cams. My stomach turns into a washing machine. Yep, I know that feeling. That one girl who perished in the chicken roaster was crazy. Oh my God, can you imagine? I kept thinking about that girl in the walk-in oven at Walmart. Jesus, can you imagine? She's like hitting the machine, and customers are walking by her while she's being cooked alive for like, what, 30 minutes? While she's in there, and you're just like hitting. You imagine seeing a Walmart employee and just like turning your head and looking away because you don't want to be the guy that points out that someone's being cooked alive in the rotisserie chicken cooker? Ooh, can you imagine the smell? Oh my God, it smells like human. And go into the spin cycle. I feel like let's see. I feel like a fart manufacturer. Oh my gosh, the other day one of the girls from the office walked into my office and she's like, "Do you think it'd be okay if I farted in here?" And I'm like, um, just do what you would do in your own home. Front end workers, more like rear end workers. Face down, rear up. Getting fleeced. Sounds like a Black Mirror episode. Promises, promises. Mm-mm-mm. Finger licking good. Oh my God. You imagine walking by as a customer at that Walmart and smelling something. It's like, oh man, that rotisserie chicken smells so good. I could, I could taste the proletariat in the air. We got spawned into a crap life. What's Jesus thinking when he sees a prole getting fleeced? I think Jesus just looks the other way. Soylent Green is people. I would say to her. You got your Christmas bonus that day, MS. Free toots. I did that real life happened to the poor Walmart employee. Yep, she got cooked in the chicken in the rotisserie cooker. And fire away. And 33 herbs and spices. Oh my God. Imagine how she left this earth. She left this earth in the rotisserie chicken cooker while wearing a Walmart vest. Oh my gosh, smells like pork. Smells like pork. So that's what the proletariat smells like when they get cooked, right? Like pork. Ooh, it'd be funny if that day that they offered free meals at Walmart and it's like, by the way, who's missing here? Is Susie missing? Has anyone seen Susie? Well, at the same time, chewing on a piece of rotisserie Susie. Has anyone seen Susie? She's missing out. Oh, I think she's closer than than you think. You tell the employees. Oh my God, they said her mother may have murked her. Oh my God, cooking your child in the rotisserie cooker. I'd gladly inhale a Susie fart. I'll take two. I'll take two. Dying in a Walmart vest is God's idea of a prank. John, it's I think the ugly humor of the universe, in my opinion. Susie's on the menu. Susie's here giving it all. Susie's giving 110% today at Walmart. Real talk. Look up Popeyes runs out of chicken later. It was an anarchy because they were promised free poultry. The analogy of the Chinese pets. Oh my God. Susie farts tickle my nose hairs. How did we get on this subject? Do you think she farted when she was being cooked? Like, do you think the gases inside of her got cooked too, and like there must have been like an explosion, right? Oh my God, I never really thought about it. The Boondocks did an episode even on farts. I love the Boondocks. Those moments with the grandpa where he gets into fights, it's like you're about to have a moment, and you're just like, oh my God, that's so true. Dang, the senator's down, horrendous. Ooh, are there dogs in China? Not anymore. I hope the cigarettes and booze ends me before poverty. That's what I'm working on. Who thinks about the fart flavoring? Only a mess. Fart flavoring. Free chicken fiasco. Oh my God, John, I'm so ugly that my last girlfriend always made me do everything from behind, and I mean everything. John, I'm sure that girl with the strangely shaped eyes would make me do everything from behind too, because she would be very sensitive about her eyes. Susie can use my face as a chair. Oh my God, the chat's getting worse. Laugh out loud any day. Oh my gosh, John, it is not unheard of to be too ugly for dating. MS is a pimp named Slickback. I wish. Everything has to be done from behind when it comes to Susie. When Susie looks like that, I mean, again, would you run into the situation where you would be turned off? Like, I mean, I got turned on to the offset eyes, and it took me a long time to get past the eyes. And so, what happens if you're like in between thrusts and suddenly you look at her face and the eyes come back and you don't like them again? Because I've noticed that sometimes you can get past a certain characteristic in a person that you don't like, but sometimes it comes back and you don't like it again. And what happens if that happens at the wrong moment? Like if you're in deep passion, suddenly you look at her eyes and you're like, oh my God. And then suddenly you're just not into it. I want to be bewildered. I want a giant scary bush. Oh my God. Oh my God. I like it. I like it a little furry. I I've seen some like the 1960s and 70s stuff, like where you have like it looks like the top of your head in between Susie. Oh my God, that's frightening. I mean, how do you even know where to go? Like, where do you go? He's the Latin X Iceberg Slim. I like the 1970s. Yeah, we need some styling cream for down there. That's too much. Too much. The best community on YouTube has created a monster in these chats. That's the best part, Steam. All right, guys, I think we've had enough of this. I think we've talked enough. Thank you guys all for coming to the live stream. I've got to work on videos. I'm going to go out and get myself a hamburger as a reward. Thank you, Blue, for buying my hamburger with the $5 dono. And ever seen the movie The Mac? It's based on young Steam's life. I have not, but I will go look it up. Thank you guys for coming to the chat. I enjoy all of you. Special thanks to A for being a good girl, not needing to get a spanking like the stream proles. And I will see you guys in a later